every gala, we promote a fundraising project in order to help the sick and the poor. This year is no exception. We are all and have all been committed to a hospice, a St. John Hospice in the downtown east side. It's been 4 years in the planning, and now with your support, your financial support, your financial support, your financial support, your financial support, all of our financial support, this can be a reality. I'm just going to remind you a little bit about the need. The downtown east side is our oldest neighborhood. It's also the poorest postal code in Canada. It's a home to 20,000 people with marked vulnerabilities. At least over the last 10 years, the migration of homeless people, etc., have migrated into the downtown east side. And despite a variety of programs to assist these people, recent studies show us that their situation is getting worse. Their lives are worse. And they do suffer from a number of vulnerabilities that account for this. Number one, poverty. There is rampant poverty. 75% of the people are unemployed. 50% of the people are on income assistance, with the levels frozen at 2001. There is chronic, prolonged homelessness. With lack of sustained funding, these people cannot find secure housing. Drug addiction and drug abuse is trending upwards, and the problem with that is that the emergency responders and the hospitals are being overloaded, and that drug abuse, particularly IV drug abuse, is causing bloodborne diseases, including AIDS, HIV/AIDS, hepatitis, and unfortunately prostitution, where women are providing survival sexual work in order to survive. Mental illness is a major problem in the downtown east side. Recent studies in 2013 revealed that over 95% of people have at least some addiction, one addiction, if not more. 70% of people have mental illness, and of those, 41% have psychosis. The mortality rate in the downtown east side is 5 times higher than the national average. And crime against the person is also a big problem with penetration. That means someone's beating up on somebody. I'm having trouble getting that word out. And assault. Over 25% of the crime against a person occur in the downtown east side, and over 50% of the drug arrests occur down there. So, we have created a spectacular, state-of-the-art hospice on the west side. And now we have the opportunity to create an equally state-of-the-art hospice in the downtown east side. A little bit of information about the development very quickly. It's located on 3 large city lots adjacent to one another at the corner of Hastings and Gore. This will be a center or campus of care. It's an 8-story building with the first 3 stories for community health services, medicine, addiction services, and social services. The 4th floor, a hospice, and the top 4 floors will be devoted to social housing. The hospice component is a 10-bed hospice, mixed palliative care and respite. So it's not just about looking after people at the end of life or closer to the end of life. It's about providing respite and health care to people that are sickest but can respond to treatment. Capital value is $7 to $8 million. We have a partnership with the Bloom Group, which is an outstanding social group that has runs a couple of hospices, Cottage Hospice and Maze Hospice as well. They have taken over and renovated and managed 600 single residency rooms taken away from the landlord slum landlords. The operations will be provided by Coastal Health on a lease back, exactly like we're doing out at UBC, the St. John Hospice. The hospice will be named the Order of St. John Hospice at Maze Place. The OSJ capital goal is $2.5 million. The project delivery will be, the site will be sold to BC Housing, and they will be the developer. We will purchase the unfinished airspace parcel of the 4th floor. We with the Bloom Group will finish it outside, outfit the space, because we have all that experience from St. John Hospice. And again, the finished hospital will be leased to the Coastal Health under an operating lease. We can do this. We need to do this. This is Vancouver's population, the sickest and the poorest. And so, I want you to know, and you've heard me do this before, I have my pledge card. I am pledging $1,000 tonight. I'm asking you to join me. This is a very important project. We can really make a difference. And being a palliative care physician, I really understand what this can mean to that population. If you're not a member of the order, you're still very welcome to contribute. If you have friends outside that would be interested in what we're doing, ask them to contribute. But tonight, please fill your pledge card out with your 2020 pens that are in that little bag on your table, and put your pledge in the little bag. That'll be collected a little bit later. Thank you so much for your attention.